Good morning and welcome to Wholesome Roots. Today I'm going to show you how to make quick, easy, raw or pasteurized yogurt. So for me, I have raw goat's milk, so that's what I'm using for mine. You can use pasteurized milk, cow milk, any kind of milk really, as long as it's not ultra pasteurized. Ultra pasteurized milk tends to not take to a culture. So the first step is to pour your milk into a pan, and then you're going to turn your heat on, and it is important that you use a stainless steel pan. It has to be a non-reactive metal. And then you bring the temperature up slowly. I put it at a medium heat, and I keep whisking it with a rubber whisk so that it doesn't scrape the bottom of the pan and nothing sticks to the bottom of the pan either. I like to use my thermometer and take track of the temperature. My goal when I make yogurt, because I'm using my really good raw goat milk, I want to keep my yogurt raw as well. So I only bring it up to 110 degrees. And if you want it to be pasteurized and kill off any possible bacteria that may be in your milk, you can bring it up to 180 degrees. But then you need to make sure it comes back down to 110 degrees before you add your culture. If you add your culture when the temperature is above 110 degrees, you will have a failed yogurt. It will not set because the temperature is going to kill the active culture. So people use different cultures when they're making yogurt. The most common for homemade yogurt is to just buy some plain, non-flavored, store-bought yogurt with lots of great cultures in it. So look at the label and make sure it says live active cultures in the ingredients list. And I often pick out one that's got more than one type of lactobacillus in the ingredients list. I tend to pick out one of the higher priced brands because they tend to have a lot more of the cultures and better ingredients in them to begin with. Organic is best, of course, but I have this one today because it was marked down for 49 cents. So I just get a single serving yogurt, and I just purchased that so that I can just add that to my milk once it's at the right temperature. So when my milk is at 110 degrees, I'm going to take it off the burner, add this yogurt, and that's pretty much it. Stir it in, pour it into different jars if you want to, keep it in separate jars, or you can put the whole pan right into your oven and keep it warm overnight. So you only need a couple of tablespoons of the yogurt to activate a quart or so of milk. But I usually am making about 2 gallons worth when I do this. So I use the whole container. And I just mix it in when the temperature is right. Alright, it's beeping. That means I've reached my proper temperature. So I'm going to whisk it one last time to make sure that the temperature is evenly distributed throughout the pot. I like to go ahead and dip out some of the hot milk and then add my yogurt to that and stir it in really good and then pour it back in. Go ahead and make sure that that yogurt is incorporated into all of the milk. So you can just go ahead and put the lid on and put it right into the oven like this, or you can pour it into your own mason jars and put those into the oven. What I do is I turn on my oven light. So I turn on the oven light, and sometimes I even turn it up to warm for just a minute and then turn it off again, and that just makes it warm in there. You don't want it hot. Like I said, it can't be over 110 degrees. So just warming up your oven a little bit by having that light on is going to provide the perfect environment for the yogurt to culture your milk. So when you take those jars out, or the whole pan if you choose to leave it in the pan, you're going to have yogurt when you're done. It's going to take 6 to 8 hours, 12 to 24 hours if you like it extra tart, And keep in mind, if you're doing it with goat milk or raw milk sometimes even, it's not as thick as store-bought Greek yogurt. I use the Greek yogurt culture because I like thick yogurt, and I tend to think that it gives me a thicker yogurt. But if it's too runny for you, you can either culture it longer, you're gonna get a more tangy flavor, but it will firm up more, or it'll firm up a little bit after refrigeration too. Or you can even strain it through a cheesecloth and make it a thicker yogurt. You'll have whey left over as a byproduct, but you'll still have some really yummy thick yogurt to eat. Once your yogurt's done, you can flavor it with anything you like. We personally like to add either fresh fruit or honey. Honey is my favorite. I hope you guys enjoyed following along today with this recipe. And if you enjoyed it, please check out some of our other recipes in our playlist. Thank you for watching. You know the drill. We'll see you next time on Wholesome Roots.
Bye.